So this is day 24 of 30 days of expat living in Costa Rica. JuliAnne Murphy here. You're not going to see my face today. Some people will be happy about that. But I am. My expat blog as shown here is lapuravitacostarica.com, which is all about expat living and my personal journey here in Costa Rica. I've been here almost 3 years. We're also sponsored these segments by our company, which is a boutique real estate firm, South Pacific Costa Rica Real Estate. You can check that out at CostaRicaPacificRealEstate.com only if you're interested. And today we're going to talk about private hospitals in Costa Rica. This is super important not only for people that are moving to Costa Rica, but also those that are retiring that want to look beyond the public socialized medicine system that is offered for obviously a lot lower cost. I've already talked another day, I think, about private insurance and the public health system, but today I just want to show you some websites for the three kind of biggie private hospitals here and just walk you through them and kind of what they offer. The first is, first I'm going to go to CIMA, which is C-I-M-A. The website here you can see at the top is hospitalsanjose.net. This is probably the most well-known hospital, private hospital. Between them and the second one I'm going to show you, Clinica Biblica, they seem to say that they are the oldest one. They have not only a hospital in San Jose, but right next door they have a medical center with probably, 200 to 300 doctors that do all kinds of private stuff. They, of course, do baby care, medical checks, general services, surgery, you name it. These are all the people that say they're good. Now, unfortunately for CIMA, even though, by the way, CIMA is a 62-bed hospital, their website is not in English, which actually that surprised me quite a bit. Because the bulk, I would say, of their, you can see all of this is in Spanish, the bulk of their clientele are, well, not the bulk, but at least half, probably, in addition to wealthy ticos, are English speakers. So it kind of surprised me, and frankly, their website to me, especially as a marketer, is below par for what they offer. But they are a very good hospital, and a lot cheaper prices generally than what you pay in the States, even with your healthcare coverage. Most private insurers will cover both CIMA as an option here in country or Clinica Biblica. Let me take you to Clinica Biblica's page. Clinica Biblica is, just like it sounds, clinicabiblica.com, CLINICABIBLICA.com. They happily do have, you can see up here in the left-hand corner, they do have English, Spanish, and I think it's French options. So we're on the English page here. You can see it's a pretty easy to use website. I personally have used Clinica Biblica and been very happy with them. I actually find them super professional, and a lot of the doctors from CIMA, a lot of the doctors, like in most health systems, are shared. So Clinica Biblica and CIMA sometimes has a lot of the same doctors, and then some are only specific to one or the other. These guys do surgery, they do maternity, medical specialists, medical checkup, pretty much anything you need you can get done, all your woman care, ultrasound mammograms, etc. So this is in English and obviously quite easy. They do have a pharmacy, as does CIMA. This gives you everything about them, as well as some of the same ratings and logos that's behind them and so forth. This, unhappily, for the country is the only website in English, which again shocks me, but anyway, that is what it is. The third one, which is not necessarily, they call themselves a hospital, but they're really more of a medical center. This one is the newest in the bunch. It's called Hospital Metropolitano. Their website, as you can see at the top, if you can read that, is Metropolitano, which is metropolitan, and then OCR.com. Their website is also only in Spanish. These guys only opened in the end of 2013, so it hasn't really been that long, about 4 years. But they're different in that they offer kind of a wealth of services and a medical plan that's pretty interesting. And they have locations, San Jose, Tibas, Escazú. There's a cancer center that's actually in their medical center in San Jose, Cabo Velas, which in Guanacaste, and also Capos, which is in Manuel Antonio. So they're branching out all over the place, and they're just getting ready to pass the 5-year mark. Something that's unique about these guys that I wanted to touch on is for anyone who wants to have the public plan but wants to then have an addendum but not maybe go to the expense of doing necessarily a CIMA or a Clinica Biblica, these guys have a medical plan called MediSmart. And this is interesting because it gives you access to a lot of coverages up to 80% of what you might pay out of pocket. They cover, depending on what your plan is, with 30 specialties and more than 200 medical plans. How does it function? It's pretty similar. Individuals pay only $12 a month. I mean, oh my God, that's unbelievable. Additional family members, $6 each per month. The plan has no pre-existing conditions, and 24 hours after you sign up, you're covered. And there's no limit into how many medical services or consultant appointments or so forth that you can have. So this is pretty cool. I'm going to just click on the coverage. Again, this is relatively new. I just found out about this recently. I wish this were in English, but this is the coverages. So you can see here 80% general medicine. You can see the prices. And generally with the cologne, here these are in colones. So generally, this is not the exact. At the moment, the exchange rate is 570. So you would take this number divided by 570 to get the dollars. So gynecology, I'm just going to give you an example really quick. $45,000 divided by cologne, sorry, is like $79 for, that's the regular price, and then you're going to pay a little bit over $15. So that type of thing. So these are the things that 80% of their medical plan covers: gynecology, pediatrics, nutrition, geriatrics, seeing an internist. I didn't know they had a vet plan. That's new to me. Oncology, and general medicine, 60%. They cover cardiology, dermatology, orthopedics, trauma, urology, ophthalmology, physiotherapy, etc. 50% labs, neurology, electrocardiogram, etc. So this is interesting because depending on what it is, when you buy their plan for $12 a month, again, no pre-existing conditions, you get a lot cheaper prices, from 15% up to 80%. For many expats, that makes a ton of sense. And as I said, they currently have 6 locations around the country. They're getting ready to open one in our area in the coming year or so, maybe 2. And I think down in South Pacific, Costa Rica, that's not a firm thing yet. And the other thing I was going to say. Oh, so anyway, these are just some options. Now, I want to give you a couple of examples of costs. Just these are recent things for me. Dental, all of these pretty much. I'm not sure about the MetaSmart plan, and but I know that both SEMA and Clinica Biblica do have dentists in their medical centers. So, for example, last year I went and got a brand new porcelain crown, and that, including the what do you have to have done first? I'm losing the words. Anyway, the entire process, start to finish, cost me $1,100. Now, I am not completely happy with the crown, I have to be honest. I'm not as happy with it as I have with others I've had done in the States, but it's 1/3 the price. So you kind of get what you pay for, and the work was decent. It wasn't great. Another example, a friend of mine looked into getting got breast cancer last year and was looking into a mastectomy, and she also went and looked, including the reconstruction surgery. Getting one breast mastectomy, the full breast mastectomy in SEMA and Clinica Biblica, she checked both, was $12,000. That's start to finish. That same surgery in the States would have cost $250,000. Many of these doctors in all 3 have been trained in the States. They may then just come back to practice in Costa Rica and may not keep up with the same levels of repeat training that are required for doctors in the States, which is, I think, is every 2 years. But generally, for your general care, they do really well. So it's a very personal decision if you're going to do things in the States versus or anywhere, your country of origin versus here. But I just wanted to share a little bit about the private hospitals here, give you a couple examples of cost, and show you their websites, and then any other research you do, you can take it from there. So over and out, and this is day 24 of 30 days of expat living in Costa Rica. Again, brought to you by JuliAnne Murphy, LaPuraVidaCostaRica.com, expat living blog, and courtesy of South Pacific Costa Rica Real Estate. And that's Costa Rica Pacific Real Estate.com. So